Hey guys, what's up? It's Lauren, and today I'm going to be doing a whole entire video for you guys on my sophomore year experience in college. And I did a freshman year one. If you guys want to check it out, I will card it over here. But I talked all about my freshman year. If maybe you guys are seniors in high school or you're still in high school and you want to know more about my freshman year. But today I'm going to recap you guys a little bit more on my sophomore year, just because I have been MIA, you know, this whole year I feel. And I just kind of want to tell you guys a little bit about my experience, a little bit more about college if you guys are interested, and just pretty much everything that I've gone through this year. So I'm going to split this into a couple different categories, but I first wanted to start out with the academics and the classes. So a little bit about myself before I jump into academics. My major and minor, I get a lot of questions about that still. So my major is communications, public relations, and my minor is fashion merchandising. So a lot of people ask me about those majors and minors, and a lot of people are interested in them. And I personally do like both of them. I wasn't as big of a fan of my fashion minor as I thought I would be. I thought I would like it a little bit more than I do, honestly. But I love my public relations major. I'm also like dipping into other classes as well in the communications fields, like advertising and things like that. And I really like all of them. If you guys are interested in communications, I guess some like core things about it is that it does involve a lot of public speaking and a lot of writing and a lot of creativity. Those are the three things that I've just noticed while taking these classes, and especially public speaking. It's called communications for a reason. You're going to be talking a lot and you're trying to convey and communicate to the public about something. So you have to be really good at communicating and talking and presenting things. And then fashion merchandising, I'm doing the minor, so I'm just taking different classes within different paths, but there are different paths at my school with fashion merchandising. I'm not 100% sure what they are because I'm not a major, but I know that there's like a business path, I think, like a promotion path, maybe like a product development path. So now I'm going to jump into my classes. So I took 16 credits, which is the maximum number of credits you can take. So the first class that I'm going to talk about are my fashion classes. I took 2 classes in my fashion minor. So my first class was fashion trend forecasting, and this was all about forecasting future trends that might happen and just kind of being really creative. I felt like this class was. But at the end of the semester, we had to make this huge fashion trend book, and we had to forecast different trends that we felt like were going to be coming up within the next couple of years. Next, I took this fashion merchandising class. It was like merchandising, planning and controlling, pretty much merchandising math is what it was. So it was a math class. I honestly thought I was done with math classes for the rest of my life. Like, I was so happy that I didn't have to take any more math, but merchandising, the business side, is all math, especially if you guys want to go into planning or buying or any of those types of jobs. It is pretty much all math. So we learned how to do different things like create 6-month plans, look at different sales, pretty much just learning all about retail and stores and how people purchase items and different components that need to go into it. So it was pretty interesting. It's a very, very useful class if you're into fashion buying. I personally don't think I would go down that route as a job. Next, I'm going to talk about some of my communications classes that I took. So I took a class called Applied Research. So we pretty much had to conduct focus groups and kind of learn about surveys, focus groups, how people pretty much put together different research, and we had to pick our own topic and create focus groups and then show our results without any bias. That was kind of like, it was an 8 a.m. class, and I wake up so late all the time. I'm not a morning person whatsoever, so it was kind of difficult to stay very motivated and concentrated in class. My next communications class that I took was advertising, and I did an introduction course last semester. But this semester I actually did a course where we had to create a whole entire campaign based off a product, and everyone had the same product, so at the end we kind of saw which campaigns were the best and kind of compared campaigns. So we had to create a whole entire advertising campaign behind this one product. And advertising is a lot of work. I did not realize how time consuming it is because it's a very creative process. We were doing mostly the creative side of advertising. You had to sketch, you had to do all of these things. You had to create a lot of digital layouts, graphic layouts on like InDesign and Photoshop. So it did take a lot of work, but it was definitely worth it. It was a lot of fun. I then took a music class, which was jazz and sound. I had to take this for my fine arts and for my pathway, and I had to take some type of like art music class, so I took it. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of music. It's not really a subject that I'm super interested in. And then I took a career development class, which is really useful. It was 1 credit. It was how to create resumes, cover letters, LinkedIn profiles, how to interview for jobs. Those are my classes from this past semester. For first semester, I took tons of classes in both of my major and minor. I'm just going to go through them really quickly. I took a fundamentals of public relations, so like an intro to public relations class, and a writing for public relations. We learned all about different things like press releases, pitches, media alerts, just different components that you really need to know for public relations. I took a retailing class for fashion, learned all about retailing, how retailing works, how people open up stores. Very useful as well. I took a communications research class, which was pretty boring. And then my last class was my introduction to advertising class, which I really liked a lot. So now that we've talked about academics for so long, I'm going to now move into pretty much all the clubs that I did this semester. So for involvement this semester, I pretty much was really involved in my sorority all semester, or all year. We had fall recruitment as well as spring recruitment, which we usually don't have both. So that was kind of nice because we got a lot of new girls in the sorority, and it was fun having recruitment both semesters because recruitment is super fun. It's tiring, but it's very fun. So we had that, and we had so many different events. I honestly can't even remember all of them, but some of my favorite events are obviously formal, and then we also had Big Little Week, which was really fun as well. It was in March, so I actually got my little this year, which was really cool. But that was really fun. It's just a whole entire week of presents, and then it's a nice reveal at the end. And then second semester, I got into the communications firm on my campus, which I really wanted to be a part of because it's really good on-hands experience to have. Pretty much we work with nonprofits in the area of my school, and we are their communications people for those nonprofits. So it's really cool. It's really useful experience. So I really like the nonprofit that I was assigned to, and we ran an event for them, and we were promoting another event that's coming up. So we get to work with that client one-on-one and get to see what they really want. Also, I went to the gym a lot first semester. Was it first semester? Yeah, like first semester. I went to the gym a ton, and then second semester I stopped going to the gym. I honestly go to the gym just because I love the elliptical, and I love listening to music on the elliptical, and then I'll do like abs or legs or something after. But I don't know, it just makes me feel a lot better going to the gym, and I just feel so much more energized after the gym. I am going to kind of talk a little bit more about my housing because I lived in a townhouse this year, so I didn't live in a dorm anymore, so we had our own key to our own townhouse, and our townhouse had 13 girls in it, which was insane. When I first heard that I was living with 13 people, I was not really sure how that was going to work, especially since I was on the main floor of the building where the living room was, where the kitchen was, where the dining room was, and that I was in a triple. I went from a double to a triple, so I was not very thrilled about it at first, but it honestly ended up working out so well. So when you walked into our townhouse, we had 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms upstairs, and then we had my bedroom, which was a triple with a bathroom downstairs, and then the kitchen, living room, dining room, and a balcony, which was really nice. And then downstairs was a bathroom and 2 more double rooms. So it was a lot of girls in one space. I think we had the most girls when in one house on campus. Honestly, we had so many people, but it worked out really well. It wasn't as bad as I thought. It wasn't as loud as I thought, and our triple room was humongous. I'll link my room tour over here. I did a whole room tour. The bathroom was really big, and the bedroom was humongous. You could fit probably another 4 mattresses in that room. You could fit probably 7 to 8 people living in that room. It was really big. And since we had our own kitchen, I had to go grocery shopping. I ate at the dining hall 3 times a week usually. We had 4 meal swipes a week was my plan. So I'm not a huge fan of the dining hall, so I was pretty happy about getting my own groceries, but I soon come to realize that I could not cook. I really could not cook at all. I made the same like 4 to 5 meals all the time, but I honestly, it was fine. I made chicken nuggets, I made pasta, I make some tacos, sometimes I make soup or chili, cereal, eggs. So I made stuff. I mean, nothing gourmet by any means, but obviously convenience is #1 when it comes to cooking in college, because you know, I would just cook myself up a meal real quickly, so chicken nuggets are really easy, things like that. So that definitely was really interesting. And I got my car my second semester at college, which was really nice as well. So I was able to drive to the grocery store because I definitely needed to go to the grocery store a lot and I never had a car. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any more questions about my sophomore year and want to know a little bit more about it, definitely let me know, because I will try to respond to as many comments as I can. And anyways, guys, if you have any more high school or college videos that you want me to film for you, definitely let me know. And anyways, guys, I'll see you all later. Bye.